So what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, guys. I am David. On today's episode, we're going to do a little bit more wood splitting. I got the grapple on the Kioti CK2610 so we can move some of the bigger logs around, lift some of them up, cut some of them, all of that fun stuff. Last time I left you guys off, we took a little tour of my wood yard. I'll leave a link in the description below. If you didn't see that video, go check it out to give you guys a little bit of brief overview of how I run my operation. Now, today I'll show you the saw that I use. I only own one gas-powered saw. I do have a little Ryobi saw that I use for just literally trimming and stuff like that, small stuff, but I'll show you the saw that I use. Now, you guys can judge me, laugh at the saw if you want. It's getting the job done right now, but it's not a commercial grade or a professional grade saw. I've never owned this amount of land. I've never had to cut this amount of wood. Typically speaking, when I get my logs and I get my wood, most time it came from tree services and it was already cut to 16s. So I just got it and just had to split it. I never really had to cut it. So last property that we had, it didn't require me to have a Steely or a Husqvarna or some huge saw like that or some very expensive saw like that. So I have a homeowner's grade saw. So let's go check that out and let's get some wood cut. Let's get some wood split. Let's move some stuff around. All right, so like I said, it's a homeowner saw. It's a Craftsman. It's a 50cc inch motor. It's a 20-inch 50cc motor. It's a 20-inch bar. And it's always gotten the job done for me. I have no real complaints about it. I feel like it burns through gas a little fast. One time I was helping out a friend cut up a bunch of sycamore one time, and for every tank of gas he went through, I went through two, and he was working with a Steely, which obviously is a much higher grade quality saw, and I just didn't want to have to afford it. I've never had this much property where I had a need to have to spend that kind of money on a saw. I think I spent, I want to say $100 on this thing. Maybe I think it was like maybe 110, something like that. I caught it on a sale one time, and I went with Craftsman because at the time of purchase many years ago, if anything ever goes wrong with Craftsman product, you take it back and they give you a new one. I destroyed one of these saws one time. The engine seized and it just wouldn't pull anymore, and I maintain my saw because I understand that it's not a high quality saw, but I do know this: if you take care of your equipment, it takes care of you. So I always clean it, I always blow it down, I keep my chain sharp, I keep everything oiled, I keep everything nice. I take the cover off this guy here, and I take the cover off, I blow it down, I keep my oil passages nice and clean, because I understand that if I can just keep it decent, it should do okay. So I've never had any issues with it whatsoever. So when I had the one saw that wouldn't pull anymore, I took it back to Craftsman. The guy tried to pull it and literally it wouldn't pull. He saw it, he felt it, and he literally handed me a new saw. It was a beautiful transaction. I was like, this is why I went with the product, because I can just simply take it back and they can just fix it for free, or they can give me a brand new one for free. Now, that also said, Craftsman, I think, is no longer has a store. I think maybe like Lowe's or something carries Craftsman now. I don't know if their warranty still holds up. Like I said, this saw is pretty old. I do want to invest into, now that I have this property, I do want to invest into a more quality saw. And I'm going to be honest, I do think I want to go with battery powered saws. I'm kind of over the gas. Not sick of it, but I'm over it. Although I know that a gas saw holds its own place, but I do feel like the battery technology is there now. And I'll say this: if I get a good, decent quality running battery saw and it runs out of a battery and I don't have more, well, that's a good time to stop cutting then. Odds are my back is sore, I'm tired, my arms are sore, let the battery charge, go split some wood while the battery's charging, and then go back to cutting, or something along those lines. But I'm really not too positive, but I am going to be looking into more of a eco-friendly, battery-powered type of a saw situation. But I'm also looking to convert pretty much everything I possibly can over into battery technology. From my tools, I'm looking to do a whole new tool set at some point. That's another video for another time. But I'm looking to convert everything I possibly can over to battery power, get into solar, get some Tesla walls or something like that put on the house, get some solar panels in part of the field somewhere out here, and really just convert things into that to get more off the grid, to save more money in that fashion at least. So, but moving along, this saw has done nothing really to really upset me in any way, shape, or fashion. It's always got the job done, and guess what? It's still going to get the job done today. Let's go get some wood cut. Let's go get some wood split. I always thought this is pretty cool. Little handle that underneath the handle here, it holds my little T wrench. It does everything for the saw. Always thought it was fun. Side note, I got this little neck here for my little brother. I think I got it from Tractor Supply. He put a little hole in the top and put a string on it so I don't lose the cap. But man, if you're, it changes the game. It levels you up, if you will, to putting bar oil in your chainsaw. It makes everything so much easier. So if you don't have one, I definitely recommend this. And if I can find it, I will leave a link in the video below where you can get one. All right, so when you saw me with the saw way out and not letting the teeth actually dig into the log and go down with it, and you saw the saw blade sticking out really far, it was just so I didn't cut into this other log on the other side of it too far, just for the record. Now, I could have just simply rolled this log away from it all and let the teeth dig in, but I don't mind a little bit of a workout as I'm exercising these days, and I'm actually typically, a lot of the times, I just use my the grapple bucket and lift this thing up and just cut it right around waist height with the grapple and the tractor. But I didn't do it specifically, and I'm not doing it specifically because I'm actually could use a little back workout, so I like the extra little exercise there on the back. So that's that. We got a bunch cut up, as you can see. I mean, we got little pieces everywhere, and I'm not really measuring. Once again, if you didn't see my other video, Shannon's parents have a wood insert that won't allow over 14 inches. So I usually try to keep it between 12 to 14 inches when I cut, and I'm just eyeballing it. I don't have my measuring out or I don't have my measure out or nothing like that, but whatever. So we got a bunch cut up. You can see them all. And what I did was I just walked around the wood pile, as you saw, and I cut where I could just simply walk up to and cut a 12-inch or 14-inch piece out. I just walked around and I just cut where I could and just cut it wherever I could. Now we're gonna take the time to go around and round up all these pieces, get them all, stack them over by the log splitter to get ready to split, and then we'll grab the grapple and we can start moving. A bunch of these big logs here that we can't cut anymore, we'll go ahead and move them and stage them accordingly. What I will do is I'll pick them up with the grapple, I'll cut what I can, I'll drop it on the ground, and then from there I'll cut the rest on the ground, and that's it. So let's grab the tractor. Let's get a bunch of these over by the log splitter. Quick change of plans. We're gonna put the carryall out back, and a little deviation here, and we're gonna put the bucket up front. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill up the bucket, and we're just going to split whatever's in the bucket into the baskets. When the basket fills up, we're gonna take the carryall, move the basket, put an empty one there, and we're gonna rinse and repeat until all the logs are up. So that way I'm not picking them, putting them in the bucket, stacking them over here, and then having to re-put them back in the bucket later, or split them off, or pick them up off the ground. While they're in the bucket, I might as well go ahead and bring it to the log splitter and go ahead and split it and call it a day. So let's get it on. All right, took a quick second, and we got the bucket on, and we have the carryall on. So now we're gonna make our way. We gotta get all of this stuff out of the way. This is obviously stuff that was on the ground that I sat there and cut up. And a friend of mine dropped off a bunch of sycamore. He took down a huge sycamore tree. The thing was massive. And actually, this is one of the leaders off of the tree itself. That thing is probably a 24-inch diameter you're looking at right there, this one right there. And that was one of the leaders that came off of it. The sycamore tree was massive. So he had a bunch of it weighing down the back of his truck so he doesn't slide in the snow. And he has so much of it. He's like, hey, do you care if I drop some of it off? I said, hey, you know, I don't care, drop it off. Any wood you want to drop off. So we're going to go ahead and load the bucket with all of this stuff here. So that way we can make our way to the log splitter. So get all this out of the way, put it in the bucket so we can get nice and close to the log splitter, and we're just gonna start splitting. Let's go. This is already halfway full, but now it's filled the rest of the way. We're just gonna go ahead and move it and grab one of those 2 empty baskets up there, and we're going to swap it out and keep splitting. Nice fresh empty basket. We're looking good. So let's rinse and repeat. While I had the tractor, the bucket only had a few pieces in it, so I just went ahead and filled it up. I think that's white oak. And we're just gonna go ahead and continue to split and fill this basket up, I hope. And we're gonna call this one a day. Let's keep going. All right, guys, so thanks for joining me this episode, guys. That's going to wrap it up. I had a lot of fun splitting some wood, filling up my little pallet bins there. They're working out pretty well for me, guys. Check out the link, the description below, the link in the description below, and you can see me build one of those and see what it was all about. If you guys are curious or interested about it by any means. I saw something similar on the Back 40 Firewood channel. He had one that had an open face, it looked like, and I caught an eye on it, one of his videos I was checking out. And I actually commented to find out about it, to see if I can gain some of his experience, to see if that worked out better. He never got back to me, unfortunately, but we may try that and just see if we stack it in there, will it stay in as we're driving the tractor, and will it dump into the bed of a pickup truck with pallet forks on? Will it dump? So that way I can load people up who come to buy firewood from me. I can just simply grab it and load them up faster in the back of the pickup, trailers, whatever they may have. Also, that's not a knock on the Back 40 that he didn't get back to me. I'm sure his channel is way bigger than mine, and you can't answer 900 comments, so I totally get it. I was really hoping he would, though. So Back 40, if you're out there, what up, dude? So that's gonna be it for this episode, guys. Feel free to check out some other videos, like, share, subscribe. As always, we're trying to build up those numbers, so we can get monetized and all that kind of stuff, to make this another make this more of an income process for us. So as always, don't forget 2 things. Don't forget to take the time to enjoy what you do, and don't forget, work does not do itself, so don't be afraid to get out there and get after it.